All right, guys, welcome to the Off the Bench podcast. I have Thaddeus Scruggs in the studio today. What up, bro?
What up, what up, what up?
What's going on?
Man, life is great, man.
Isn't it?
It is. Blessed to be here.
That's right. So I really want you to be as direct with these folks as you can, because this has been a ride for you, correct?
Correct.
And a lot of us, it's been a ride for. Mm-hmm. You know the difference in the ones that are integrity partners and the ones that aren't?
They just never quit.
They just never quit. So, like, can you kind of go through your process with us and give us the ups, give us the downs, everything that you can think of? Because here's the deal. If people know what to expect, then they can go, well, they told me that was going to happen. Yep, mm-hmm. They told me that was going to happen. And I think if we do that, it'll help more people than we can probably even imagine. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So tell us about when you started, what that looked like, when you started, I guess, dealing with some adversity, mm-hmm. and everything in between.
Okay. So, I came to this business December 1st, 2019 is my first dial day. And I had an explosive first couple weeks. I helped 8 families when I first got here. And I was like, man, like, this is easy.
And you were part-time.
And I was part-time. And I was working midnight. So I'm
Doing
getting
what?
off work in law enforcement. So I'm as a police officer, me and Ryan Urbanski came in together.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Appreciate it. And so I would get off work at 7 a.m. I would drive to the office an hour away, and I would just dial all day. And it was like, I believe so much in the system and what you brought to the table with Sean Mike, with Mike brought, and the amount of training and the way this business model is set up, it was like bar none the best I've ever seen before. And I've tried other types of an entrepreneur type jobs, but it wasn't nothing no near as close to this, right? So came in, did really, really well, had a lot of success. Then I want to say I got a little comfortable. I came and I failed. I failed a lot.
What got comfortable? What do you mean by that?
Well, 3 months into the business, I quit my full-time job as a police officer, came here to help protect families. Okay. And to this day, I still love it, right? But when I first got here, it was just the excitement, that really got me by. And then it was like, all right, now I'm trying to learn the system. I'm trying to learn everything. So I'm listening to tons of podcasts. I'm listening to what everybody's telling me to do, right? And I was consumed by all this information, but yet when I got into the house or when I dialed, it's like, man, I got 30 different people telling me to do 30 different things.
Right.
And so eventually, that upward slope started to kind of steady, then kind of drop, and then I started to lose confidence in myself.
Right.
So, it really took a lot of soul searching. Me and you spent a lot of time together really trying to unravel what was going on with the ups and downs. And it was really just, I would go a month, 2 months, and I'd be great.
Right.
I help 10, 12 families a week. And then it would be, geez, I can only help like 1, 2 families. What am I doing wrong? What's changing? I would beat myself up about it all the time. And really it was my mindset. In this business, it's all about mindset, and it's going out, not only listening to things that'll put your mind in the proper place, but also surrounding yourself, in an environment that could yield success. Being in the office, being around you was one of the most important things that kept me driven every day, each and every day. And I still do that to this day.
Not me. I mean, just somebody that's been doing this for a while, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know anybody. Sure. I ain't that special. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you. And I agree with you. Like, because I've been through a lot of stuff in this business. So I've been through what you're going through, and I've come out through the other side. But we've all had support. You know what I mean? Like, I look to Sean because we've all been through stuff together. He's been through stuff I don't even know yet, but I'm sure I'll find out as I continue to grow in this business.
Right.
So it's the same thing. And that's that you never fought that, which is good, because a lot of folks ghost you when they start having bad thoughts and their mindset goes south and their numbers go backwards. They tend to disappear.
That's key. Communication,
It is key.
communication.
That's why I always like talking with you, because you never really, you just said what you had to say. And it's easy that way, because most folks won't go like, I'm beating myself up or I'm losing confidence, because they don't want to look weak.
Right.
Right. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but for you, I think it's worked, because once you identify something, you've seemed to figure out how to fix it and not quit. Now, you spend a lot of time reading.
A lot of time reading.
And I want you to talk a little bit about what you said, I don't know, a couple minutes ago, about listening to everything, and then how that was good for you, but then it was really bad for you.
Right.
Because there's so much content out there. I think it's information overload for some people. And to me, it's like, we have to be careful. This is how I've learned this business, through Sean. And I listened just to him, because, to be honest with you, he was the best I've ever seen. So why would I listen to anybody else but him on this business, right?
Right.
Now, are there other people that are good? Yes, they are, but they're not as good, right?
Exactly.
And I'm not saying like whoever you have access to, if it doesn't matter if they're not Sean, but if they're where you're trying to get to, they can help you. But when you're getting different answers from different people, that can be dangerous, right?
Well, you think as a brand new agent coming in, the first thing you want to do is you want to learn all the products, and it's like the first thing Mike said was like, don't worry about products.
Right.
Pick up the phone, dial, run your appointments, call me from the house. I said, okay. Hardest thing ever.
Right.
Because I'm so anal, I'm so analytical, right? I want to know everything. And I see it, and it plays in every aspect of this business, So when you think about, for me, for example, I was talking to Dominic Rogers, I was talking to you, I was talking to Mike, I was calling everybody I can think of to try to get answers, to try to figure out what can I do to be better. It's like, you come in this business and you do really good. It's like, okay, how do I stay at the top? Well, I gotta continue to grow, gotta continue to learn, gotta continue to get better. But at the same time, it's like, all right, slow down. Okay. Simplicity is everything in this business. And honestly, it's life. Life is simple. We overcomplicate it.
Very true.
And so that's what I continuously saw myself doing. I'm like, well, I would tell myself, okay, it's my fault. I take responsibility. Now let me go fix it. Let me go listen to another podcast. How are they doing in homes? How are they doing phone scripts? Okay, well, they have success, so let me just copy that.
Right.
But then it's like, all right, well, I'm saying the same thing, as we all know, but it's not my tonality is different. Right. My posture is different. And so you get so consumed of trying to learn everything because you think that's the way. And it's only a simple, probably a mental switch that you need to make within yourself to really get that success that you're looking for. It took me a long time. It took me a long time to learn that and understand it. And it's still to this day, it's hard.
Sure.
But, that's where the reading and the meditation is the biggest thing for me because, that slows everything down for me.
Right.
That gives me the clarity I need to be able to push forward and take the things that truly matter, that's most important, and not worry about all the other excess noise. Because you're the one who actually told me about it. Listen, you listen to one person and just stick with that. Don't try to do what everybody else is doing because it's too much information. You're going to get people pulling you from multiple different places, and then you're listening to the wrong people. Always search for information up,
right,
not down.
Sure,
or not on the same level. I had a big issue with that in the beginning too.
Yeah,
but that's helped me tremendously. By looking to people where I want to be at, not where I'm at right now.
Right.
Not VP. Looking for people who are EVP. Who are integrity partners. Mm-hmm. Because that's where I want to be at. That's where my vision needs to be at, not at the same playing ground as I am right now.
No doubt. And you can look at that so many different ways. It's not like, there are producers that are insanely good that aren't EVPs.
True.
Can you learn from them? Yes.
Absolutely.
But and your stuff was, and everybody's different. Right? That's one thing I've learned over the years is through coaching sports and coaching people in this industry is everybody's different. So like that statement I make to you is like, listen to what, because you digest everything. And then you were changing things so often. I'm like, bro, you're not even giving it a chance to work, right?
Every other week.
And I'm not like, it's not a bad thing that you want to grow and get better, but there was just too much coming in and we couldn't figure out where it was because it was always different, right?
Yep.
And so when we talked, I don't know, 3 months ago about schedule, I said this to you. I said, dude, if they would have given me, I don't know how many agents we have, let's just say 1,000. And I had to pick the one person that had no schedule or bad schedule, you would have been the 1,000th pick.
Yep.
Like I would have went through everybody we have and then you, because of how analytical you are, how you said anal you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're very organized with stuff. And the fact that your schedule was out of kilter was crazy to me.
Me too.
Can you talk a little bit about that and how that happened and what you thought? Because, I mean, we talk about schedule, leads. 3 things I tell you got to be good at are getting leads, having a great schedule, and being good on the phone. And that's like we talk about it all the time, and your schedule wasn't right.
Yep.
How did that happen?
My home. You know, my wife and my son, they're my rock. You know, that's what keeps me driving every day, right?
Right.
And when the household is wrong, everything else is just goes downhill, especially for me. Now, so with that, when I had a schedule. My schedule was I'm going to be here at 6:45,
right,
and I'm going to work
right
till I get done.
Right.
That was it. You know, and I would run my appointments. That was it. So when I got home, I got home. If it was 9 o'clock at night, okay, it was 9 o'clock at night that day.
Right.
And again, this goes back to just listening to what you hear. Hey, you need to dial till you're done.
Sure.
You know, which yes, that is 100% true. But what I was doing was, and it's not so much a balance, because I always try to figure out, okay, how can I make this like a 70-30?
Right.
Where I'm working 70%, but I'm home 30%. Maybe that will work, because
right.
I know there's no balance when you're really trying to build this thing at the,
right.
in the beginning. But what I was finding is I was working so much in the business that I was taken away from home life, but I was thinking about home life while I was at work.
Sure.
And when I got home from work,
you were thinking about work.
I was thinking about work. And then, you know, the wife and the son's like, I miss my granddad. I don't miss daddy. And I'm like, well, Jesus.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
I'm like, my world is all upside down. So when I sat and I thought about it, I'm like, all right, Frank, something has to give. And when honestly, I didn't realize my schedule was messed up until I spoke to you. Because I'm like, I'm just trying to make this work. I'm just trying to do what everyone does to be successful.
Right.
So where's the problem at? What am I doing wrong? And so when you broke it down, I'm like, wow. And I'm always, you're right. I'm always about schedule. So when I actually had a schedule of when I'm supposed to be here, when I'm supposed to get things done, what it did was it alleviated any time to do anything but work.
That's right.
At work.
Sure.
And so I tell everyone now, hey, treat this exactly like a job. People say it all the time, but the thing about it is, until you actually let it resonate,
right,
and you truly do it, you're not going to understand how powerful that is for you.
Right.
You know, it stopped me from. I have a timer. You know, when I'm out eating lunch, it's like, all right, I got 10 minutes left. Gotta go.
Yep.
You know, I got to get back on the phone. I give myself an hour for lunch.
Sure.
I never did that before.
No doubt.
I would just dial.
Right.
But see, that hour, what it does is it gives me a mental break.
Yep.
It also gives me a chance to do some social media. But then I eat my lunch, but it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, all right, now 1 o'clock hits, back on the phone. Let's go.
That's right.
You know, and so it keeps you organized. It keeps you focused on what's most important right then and there.
Right.
You know?
Sure.
And I think that's the biggest thing for me. That's truly what it's done. And I obviously, it made more time for my family as well, so everyone's happy.
And that's a home run. And honestly, like, it's crazy because I couldn't, and that's why I said everybody's so different. Like, I could not do that because I don't like that much structure in my life. Mm-hmm. It freaks me out. I like chaos. And that's probably why it took us so long to realize that, because I'm just like, this is what we do. Like, yeah, we're in the office. I'm done dialing in 3 hours. Mm-hmm. You're like, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I just dial. Like, just dial till you're done. And you're dialing till 9 o'clock, but we have fun in here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's the problem. Like, sometimes we have too much fun and people aren't working when they should be working. Mm-hmm. So I love the fact, and could I do what you're doing? Yeah, I could do it. I probably would get a little stir crazy, but if I'm in a position where I needed the results and I needed the time like you needed, I think it's a home run, right? Now I think it's comfortable because you like that structure. You're a very structured person.
Man, it's a beast.
You would lose your mind if you lived with me. I'm not kidding you. And that one right there, I tell you, it's like there's no. It's funny, but it's not funny at the same time. But that's what I'm saying. Everybody is so different. You have to do what works for you, and that's what. At the end of the day, what I kept trying to get, what we finally got to understand together was, you just have to be you. You know what I mean? You can't be this person. You can't be this person. You can't do what this person does because it's not you.
Right.
It's not you, and that makes it very uncomfortable for people to be something that they're not. That's why I had such an easy time following Sean, because I could relate very well to that. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy to watch this journey for you. It's exciting because I love watching people go through hard times in a sense of not like I'm happy you're struggling or happy you're going through a hard time, but the lesson coming out of that is priceless. And you 100%. Might hate it while you're in it, but when you pull through it, it's like, you work out. Like, your max bench press, your max deadlift, when you hit that number you're trying to get to, it's like, it was hell getting there. But then when you get it up, you're like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's like. It's a process. So embrace the process and know that's part of the deal. It's not, if it was stupid easy, nobody would pay us the way they pay us.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Okay. So anybody because there are people struggling, and it's okay. It's okay to struggle too. That's what I think people fail to realize is they see so much stuff on these channels and the podcasts and the YouTubes, and they go, these people just never went through anything. I call BS, right?
It's needed.
It's needed to grow. So what advice would you give anybody that's, we've all been there where we quit, right? Mentally. Like, I quit. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do it. Like, at one point in time, you're like, I can't do this. I'm like, what are you going to go back to being a cop, right? Like, good luck with that. Oh, especially now, you might just get shot because you're wearing a uniform.
Yeah.
So let's figure it out and build some character along the way. And you've never fought that, which I appreciate, because it's not fun working with people that whine a lot. You know what I mean? But can you get some advice for folks that are going through some stuff or struggling, that are maybe teetering on giving up? Because that's the worst thing in the world to do, is to give up. Because if you just get through it, you'll provide a life for your family that's unbelievable.
Absolutely. So the biggest thing about struggle is you have to attack the struggle. You have to, like I said before, you have to embrace it and know that those dark times, this universe was built in the dark, right?
Right.
Each day starts at midnight in the dark.
Right.
Then the light shines, right? There's no different from this business. It's no different from any aspect of your life, at the end of the day.
Right.
And so when you're going through those trials and tribulations and you just don't know where to turn, you don't know how it's going to work, when it's going to work, the thing about it is that's not your first rodeo of going through a struggle, because everything you've done up to this point in your life, you've gone through obstacles.
Sure.
But you've always been able to get through it, right? This is no different.
That's right.
It really isn't. And so, again, it's one of those things where we as human beings, we just overcomplicate the situation. And for me, even right now, I had some recent struggles, and really it was just me realizing that, hey, listen, in order for me to get to where I want to be at, I have to go through the struggle. I have to go through this process. I have to go through the darkness.
That's right.
It's just a short period of time of going through it before I reach greatness.
That's right.
But the biggest thing is we stop right before we get there.
Right.
And the times when you got that pit in your stomach and you feel like you hit rock bottom and you're struggling the worst, right? And you don't think that you can climb up out of it.
Right.
Right after that
is usually when it comes.
Is when everything settles and the light shines.
Yeah.
Right. That's when the sun rises again for you. So you just have to understand it. Patience.
Patience.
If I can tell anybody anything, it's be patient. continue with the process. Do not blame yourself. Understand that the struggles that you're going to go through and the lessons that you're going to have, learn from each one. Every aspect of your life is a lesson. And if you are not struggling, you need to find a way to struggle.
Right.
Because if you ain't struggling, you ain't learning.
You ain't growing.
You're not growing. You know, and so when you look at everyone, and what I did was I look at people who are integrity partners, people who are doing great in this business. And if you look at them all, they didn't get there they may have come from a different practice company. They may have come from a different type of business opportunity, but yet they went through a ton of struggles to get there where they're at. We just don't know that.
That's right.
We don't know their life story. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at it like that, and you understand that, I take, for example, what's his name? Kevin Hart.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Kevin Hart's been through a lot of stuff as well.
No doubt.
And so when I start looking at people like that and learning what they did to get there, The Rock, for example, and he's another one. You know, when you start to learn their story and look these people up, you'll understand what they've been through to get to where they're at. And it's not easy.
None of them are easy. Yeah.
It's never easy.
That's right.
And so it's like you have to attack that. If you're comfortable right now, make yourself uncomfortable.
Man, I love that.
Make yourself uncomfortable. Like that's actually my motto for this month is finding things to be uncomfortable, because the more you're uncomfortable, the more you're going to learn. And then you're going to match that being uncomfortable. So then the next time it happens, it's no longer going to be a problem. It's not going to feel uncomfortable for you anymore because you've already weathered that storm.
Right.
Now you just elevated yourself.
Dude, I love it. Dude, we could talk for hours, man. Dude, I appreciate you more than you know. I've learned as much from you as you say you learned from me.
I don't know about
day
that
in and day out. I'm telling you, like that's the beauty of this business. Like we're always learning. And I love it because you just don't give up. And you know, it's like we go back to it. It's like you on a bench press and you're getting up that 7th rep and you're struggling and then just somebody's there. You know, it's like 2 fingers, right? Yep. And it's just that little 2 ounces of pressure upwards and you get it up. Sometimes that's all it takes. Reach up.
And the thing about that is, though, real quick, is a lot of times you're not even touching the bar.
Not even touch the bar. It's the mental aspect of it.
The mental aspect.
And that's what like I love about you is you'll reach up and go, hey, I need help. And it doesn't make you a weak person. It doesn't make you less of a man or less of a business person. You're like, bro, I need help.
Big ego, big business. Which one you want?
Love it, dude. I want to wrap it up on that. Thaddeus Scruggs. Thad, you're building a business. You're building a business. If I come to work here, I'd love to work with somebody like you rather than somebody that just comes in, that's great at everything and doesn't have any struggles, because they're not going to be able to help me. I'm a disaster. So I'd want to work with somebody like yourself who has patience, like you said, who speaks very well, and you're always trying to grow. If I want to, how do I get a hold of you? What's your social media tags? What's your phone numbers? If I want to come work with you, how do I get a hold of you?
All right. So obviously I'm FFL Protect and Serve. Personal cell phone is 571-408-5790. And then you can find me on Instagram at Wayne_Steele. The E's are actually 3s, but Wayne_Steele is my Instagram, and that's it.
All right, my man. I appreciate you for coming in. Thank you as always.
Absolutely,
guys. Thad's a beast. Look him up, follow him, watch his story. He's going to be great. He's going to be an integrity partner. I have no doubt.
That's right.
And we're going to live a fantastic life. Tripp's the man, by the way.
Amen to that.
Dude, he's adorable. All right, guys, I appreciate you hopping on. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications button on our page. Until next time, make it a big week.
Peace.